Hello, and a great day to you, beautiful soul. Thanks so much for joining me, Shanté Kumar, for another Tune In Tuesday. So today, I'll be continuing our talk about the 6 trauma responses and how to mitigate them during our review of the Fawn trauma response. Now, tell me, have you ever heard of the Fawn response? Now, chances are you have either seen it or done it yourself without even knowing it. So, first, let's define what fawning is, because when we know a definition of a word, we have a better understanding of what a thing is. Or, at least that's what works for me. So today, let's make it work for you too. All right, cool. So fawning, or to fawn over someone, is basically when you give someone way too much praise or accolades, like, oh my God, that was so great. Oh my God, you're so cool. I wish I could, in order to get a positive response from them. Now, that's why I say you may have seen this being done, right? Just saying. So the fawn response happens when someone tries really hard to make others happy so they don't get mad or upset. For example, let's say your partner comes home pissed off and starts yelling at you and putting you down, and you're thinking of what you can do or say to put them in a good mood, right? You might start saying, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. What can I do to make this better? You might be apologizing for things, even though you didn't do anything wrong, just to keep the peace. That's like the fawn response, right? Sound familiar now? All right, so another example is when someone gives up what they want to do, like playing their favorite game because a friend wants to do something else instead. And they do it just to make their friend happy. Now, hold on. I know what you're going to say, and let me explain right now. Because you don't want to confuse that with the times you generally, don't mind doing something else, right? This response happens because you want them to still like you and hang out with you and think highly of you. So you go along with things that you may not want to, so that they're happy even though you're miserable. Okay, that's the distinction. So now the fawn response itself isn't bad or anything. Matter of fact, none of the responses are bad, right? But when we start to employ them in a way or a manner that starts to cost us in our mental, emotional, and physical health and well-being, that's when we've got to be willing to do something different, something healthier and more beneficial for us, right? Now, when we use the fawn response a lot, we might start feeling like we don't have control over our own lives. You might feel victim mentality, really. You might worry all the time about what other people think or if they'll be mad at us if we don't do what they want. And that's not fun, right? It can feel like we're not being true to ourselves because we're always doing what other people want instead of what we want. And that's definitely no bueno. We want to cut it out. This response then can take a toll on our emotional health as well, because we can start to feel scared to speak up for ourselves or to share our true feelings. This starting to be turn some light bulbs on, right? Yeah. So we might feel sad or lonely because we're not being true to ourselves and our needs, because we're always putting others first. So if you've ever felt like, oh, I'm a people pleaser, this could be part of that. And it often is. It often goes hand in hand. And it's so important to remember that our feelings matter too, and it's okay to share them with others. Now, physically, the fawn response tends to make you feel really stressed or anxious and can actually make you physically sick. Imagine feeling like you have a headache or a stomach ache all the time, right? You've got twisted up gut, you've got migraines because you're always worried about making other people happy. And you're always worried about where they're at, never giving any mind to where you're at. And if you've ever felt like a ball of anxiety or worry or fear in your gut and it like never really goes away, it is and could definitely be related to this response. Now our bodies need to feel calm and relaxed for true healing and optimal health. So when we're using the fawn response too much, it can make us feel the exact opposite. So it's really important to recognize when we're using a fawn response too much because we need to take care of ourselves too, right? And of course, while it's totally okay and desired to help others, we also need to make sure that we're not sacrificing our own happiness and well-being in the process. Now, 2 ways to do this is to become comfortable, setting boundaries and speaking up for ourselves. And doing so can help us feel happier and healthier in the long run and in the short run as well. Even though in the short run it might feel kind of like uncomfortable, you get over it. But then the question is, of course, well, what if this has been your trauma response and you don't know how to set boundaries, right? That's part of the problem. You don't know how to speak up. You're afraid to, right? You're afraid of what will happen, if you do. Well, then honestly, I recommend not trying to change everything all at once. It'll feel totally overwhelming and it'll definitely feel like it's impossible, right? And things will never change. So instead, allow yourself small moments and instances when you can say no and feel okay about it. Like, all right, let's say like you're the person that always volunteers to help and to do stuff, right? So the next time you simply say, I'm sorry, I'd love to help, but I have a lot of things on my plate right now and I just can't add another. And you know that this is most likely the case, so you won't be lying. You'll be telling the truth and feeling really good about it. And energetically, allow yourself to sit for a moment and do this simple attunement exercise, okay? We're going to do it together. You're going to inhale through the nose and mentally say, I am giving myself permission to breathe. And then you exhale through the mouth, mentally saying, I am releasing attachment to others' responsibilities. You inhale through the nose, mentally saying, I am allowing myself the space to just be. Then you exhale through the mouth, mentally saying, I am allowing me to be here for me. When you do this on a consistent basis, and I promise things will start to shift for you because you will have shifted. And, if you'd like some more live guidance on navigating these responses with more ease and clarity and flow with other like-hearted beings who are on the same journey, because, we are not an island, reach out to me about joining our holistic healing collective. I will also be hosting a summit on this and related topics in August. So if you're interested in hearing more about that, definitely comment summit below and I'll shoot you the details, okay? All right, dear hearts, that's all from me today. And, I just want to send many blessings to you, your loved ones, now and always. Ciao for now, and we'll talk soon.